So we are about to go live. We are live.
Yeah, it's live.
Yeah. All right. So let me see. Okay, good. Got it. Hello, everybody. This is Dee Morote from John Jay College of Graduate Studies. We are very happy here today with one of our distinguished alumni, Adrian Gonzalez, and our director of MPA EO, Dr. Denise Thompson. So we are very happy. I am Dick Morote, and today we will talk about MPA EO, MPA Inspection Oversights, which is a little different than regular MPA. And we have one of our distinguished alumni, Adrian Gonzalez. Adrian, could you please say us some word? What are you doing right now?
Thank you. So I'm Adrian Gonzalez. I'm a graduate of John Jay from the MPA program in the fall of 2017. I'm formerly a special investigator and peace officer from the New York City Department of Investigation. I'm currently at Madison Square Garden Entertainment, where I'm a senior security intelligence analyst.
Thank you, Adrian. So we will ask you more questions. It looks very interesting what you were doing. You are doing. I mean, we are so excited to learn more about that. Professor Denise Thompson, director of the MPA, could you please introduce yourself?
Denise Thompson, director for the MPA Inspection and Oversight. I've taken up this role for months now. I'm a new director of MPA Inspection and Oversight, and I'm just trying to make the program stronger and for people like Adrian to go out in the field and make a difference.
Thank you very much. I mean, this is, as a new director, you have been doing a lot of good things for our students. Now we're talking about internships and activities. So several things that help the students to actually go to the market,
right,
show themselves. So Adrian, tell us about one of the things we really interested is the skills that you got in the MPA EO. How those apply into your current job. But before that, we want to understand more about your current job because it looks very interesting working in the Madison Square Garden where the artists and singers go there. What exactly do you do there?
No problem. So at Madison Square Garden, being in security intelligence, I handle a lot that has to do with threat management and sports entertainment as well. So that we have to make sure everything's secure and safety is our biggest priority when handling everything that comes through the garden. The garden being Madison Square Garden. So it's the mecca of basketball. It has the Rangers, which are doing pretty well right now. So there's a lot of celebrities that go in and out of the arena, and including we have our executives as well. So my job is to analyze threats that go on around the garden. When it comes to any type of criminal threats, bomb threats, a tweet that may be salacious on the internet, I have to look into that just to make sure that the company is safe and that we protect the brand, including keeping the players safe, celebrities that come in, making sure that they abide by the rules, making sure that the customers that come in to watch the games, they have a good experience and that they're safe. And that's it.
So tell us a little about your journey. You know, after you conclude the master's on 2017, you were telling me. So what happened between 2017 and 2022? How was your journey to go to this position?
Okay, so I had an interesting way of getting here. When I graduated my undergrad in 2015 from SUNY Albany, I studied information science and computer science. So my background is technical. It's in computers. I had an interest in computers, and I saw that the world was becoming more technical. So that's why I took that route. And with that, I was able to go into Department of Investigation with the newly instated Office of Inspector General for the NYPD, which became a thing in 2014. And I was their first data management analyst. So I handled a lot of data things during that time. And that's when I became interested in investigations. And that's why I decided to seek out more education, and I went to John Jay. After going to John Jay, I did the investigation and inspection track, and it aligned perfectly with my job at the time because I was working for the Inspector General. So I was able to transfer the things that I learned in the classroom directly to what I was actually seeing on a day-to-day with work during my 9 to 5. Immediately upon graduating from John Jay, I became an investigator in another squad. We call it squads in DOI. In another squad, and I oversaw Department of Social Services. So that entails, Human Resources Administration and Department of Homeless Services. So I did investigations in that department, criminal investigation, administrative investigations, a lot of field work, a lot of federal arrests. A lot of the federal arrests became after I became a peace officer, where I was trained, carry a firearm and learned a lot of law. I was able to do a lot of federal arrests. That being said, all of those skills, I was looking for the next best thing and something different that I could take those skills and I could also continue to be well-rounded. So the Madison Square Garden opportunity came about, and they enjoyed that I had both the technical skills and the investigative skills that I could put together and be a different type of person or a different type of employee or team member to seek out some of these threats. So that's the quick spiel about how I got here.
Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing how the skills, the knowledge, and the experience, everything takes you to one position. And
Right.
this is something that all our former students and also our students need to learn, that it's all about getting those skills and this experience. So Dr. Thompson, I would like to know in your program, MPA-EO, if I am a new student or a person who is interested in the program, what background you looking for? What kind of background what will be your ideal student?
My ideal student is a student who wants to learn or who is interested in investigations and just understanding the field. So I'd like to answer it by going back to what Adrian said. So if you look at the MPA IO or inspection and oversight, you'll see that we're pretty much geared towards this management, leadership, governance, right, at the top. But inspection and oversight is at the heart of what we do. And within the inspection and oversight frame, we have 4 subject areas. So students who want to come in and they have a desire to audit or do financial operations, that's one component of what we do. Then we have another component, which is what Adrian was talking about, which is the regulation and investigations arm, which deals with some of the technical skills of online investigation, anti-corruption, compliance, this kind of thing. So students who are interested in that, ours is an ideal program for them. And lastly, we have the evaluation component, which looks at organizational, operational inspection, program management, and evaluation project management. The 3 arms, so to speak, of inspection and oversight. So students, who want to learn, students who want to make a difference in the world, students who like abiding by the laws and want to make a difference that way, ours is the ideal program for them. Like Adrian, they'll come and they'll get the skills, the techniques, and the knowledge to deal with those things.
That's very good. So we have a lot of experience and knowledge learning, and we have several areas that you can actually focus on those inside of the MPA-EO. Adrian, going back to the time you were a student, do you remember what experience or courses or internships, or maybe you went to a speaker, something that you remember stand out that helped you with your journey?
Well, I could speak to all of the professors. I could speak to all of them because they all came from different sectors. So whatever you were interested in or whatever I was interested in, you could get a piece or a sense of it. So I had a professor, I believe it was like an accounting course. He was a ex-federal agent. I had some people that were in academia, which was good. So I got to get a taste of what they liked. I had professors that were inspector generals or worked in the IG's offices. So I got that sense. And then I had Vinnie Green, who's very important to me because he's a big known name in DOI. So every time I went into his class, he called me DOI because he knew I worked at DOI. So we had a good connection. So just things like that, being able to connect with the professors was something that really helped me. And we still connect to this day. So that's definitely helpful.
That's very good. You know, one of the important things of going to graduate school is having those connections with the professors, and the fact that we have professors who are working in the field is very important, because that you receive information directly from them. Director Thompson, could you tell us a little more about since we're talking about professors, what quality about the professors, you know, what they're doing right now? You have professors who are in the field, professors who are dedicated full time. Could you talk more about our professors?
Well, the first thing I'd say is that our professors are very committed to this cause. So inspection and oversight is a closely knit community. Whether you're working as auditors, FBI agents, police officers, you know, forensic examination, people writing books. We have professors who have written books in the field, you know. And these include adjunct professors, by the way, who have completed their PhDs and have written books in the field of inspection and oversight in different things, compliance, watchdog, investigations, this kind of thing. So when the professors come to us very committed to the cause, and also because of our close link to the Association of Inspectors General, we do have a number of, you know, the cutting edge information that comes to us through those kinds of connections. So I think we have a pretty good staff. I think the fundamental of the faculty is, one, that they're knowledgeable, two, they have skills, three, they're willing to share the skills and mentor students, and four, they're very active in the field, whichever field you take it. We even have people who do healthcare inspection and oversight. And again, they're active researchers or working in that field.
Thank you. So we have really a variety of professors, academic, scholars, experience, writing books. That's very good.
Yeah.
So talking about, if you are a new student, Adrian, for what you will tell, do you remember what is the major challenge? Or you were working full-time or part-time?
I was working full-time, so that was definitely the challenge. The work-life balance was the main challenge that I had to deal with, and then also trying to have a personal life on the side. So that was probably the main challenge. I took one course on the weekends, so that took a lot out of me as well. So that was the main challenge, just the work-life balance, working 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or 10 to 6, whatever the hours may be, and then having to, you know, rush uptown to go to a class that may be 2 hours, and then take the train back home for another hour and change. So that was probably the toughest thing that I had to deal with while being a student.
So what would be your advice, somebody who's following that path, that, you know, you really dedicated yourself to actually get that master's? What would be your advice for them?
Really try to jot down your time and take into account all your time and all the things that you have to get done, whether it's a work assignment at work or, you know, an assignment for class. Make sure that you delegate time and extra time to each thing, so you have time to just be able to get everything done.
Yeah, I see.
Take breaks if you need breaks. Take breaks, because you don't want to, you know, be overburdened and then just be down on everything, and then you just end up failing, and that's not what you want in any sense.
Yes.
Yeah, the breaks, the family's mental break, you know, mental break, relax. Yeah, I used to use, when I was a student, I used to study 50 minutes, a 10 minutes break, 50 minutes, 10 minutes break. And
I'm the same.
Mm-hmm. So could I jump in here to say, yes. Knowing our students, that's an important part of what any program should do, right? And it's important for student success. So we understand our students, most are working full-time. They come to school part-time. They need this flexibility. So we schedule our classes 4 to 6, 6 to 8 in the evenings. We schedule our classes on Saturdays, so students can come and do a fully program on Saturdays. We have the online component, and online we have fully asynchronous and we have hybrid. So we have a number of different modalities that we put together to cater to the types of students that we know come to our program. And then to compound that, we know that our students are first generation college goers. Most of them are, right? So they need the networking, they need the connections, they need the additional knowledge and skill sets. So we also have connections with agencies in the field. So we co-host webinars with them, for instance. We have internships that students can, and we have a number every semester. We have a number of internships that we send out. We have a mentorship program. We have job fairs. So we have a number of things that we've put together to help our students to enter the world of work and to succeed in the world of work. And another thing that I think is a value added for IO is the diversity. So we're hoping that we use this diversity and put it in the field of IO. If you look right now, the field is not as diverse. We're hoping to change that with the IO program. So just like Adrian, entering and doing really well, that's what we want for all our students.
Thank you. Yeah, and Adrian, you are a role model for a lot of our students. The fact that you went so far. Now I have a curiosity. Suppose you want to hire to one of our students, MPA EO. What is the skills you will look from them?
I'm looking for a person that wants to learn, a person that wants to grow. They're dependable. Somebody that's not stagnant, that's creative, that can think outside of the box, and think outside of the box quickly, and able to just speak up for themselves and state their opinions, not to just go with the flow of what the supervisor or what the boss or team lead says, but also wants to give their opinions and bounce ideas off of one another, because that's what makes a team. Whatever team it is, a basketball team, a football team, and even a work life team, you want people that have different ideas, that come from different backgrounds, because that's what helps the engine go. The brake can't do what the gas pedal does, so one has to do what the other does.
Right.
That's good advice. So you have to be a person able to have their opinion. That's what we want in critical thinking. That's what we call it. Able to give their opinion, able to defend their opinion. At the same time, you're respectful, but you're part of a team. It's what we call collective intelligence.
Yep.
So, Professor Tonso, do you see those skills growing in the master program? Those are called soft skills.
Well, we're trying to put together a number of things, even through our student association, to build some of the soft skills, the interpersonal skills, the communications, the networking, and the group teamwork kind of skills. We're working to build those skills in the programming, the additional programming that we do. We're also working, thanks to you, Dean, by the way, we're building that investigative arm, for instance, with analytical skills that we've just taken on a coach to do, and the writing skills. Those are important in terms of helping to boost the communication, critical thinking, and analysis skills. So, but if you look at MPA-IO in general, you'll see that you need critical thinking. The skills that we're teaching, auditing, forensic examination, evaluation, investing, those skills need critical thinking. So that's something that we do. And then added to that, we're doing additional programming to build the soft skills, including the networking skills. So I'm hoping that we're on the right track.
Yes, we are. I'm so excited. I mean, if we have a person like Adrian as an example, I think we're doing a good job.
A great
Adrian,
job.
I have a question. So what advice if I am a student and want to go to the MPA, what things you would like them to know? in order to be part of the program if I am a new student? Do you
Uh,
remember when you were a new student and say, why I should have this and that ready?
To ask questions, ask it's not a bad thing to ask questions. Everybody doesn't know everything, so it's good to ask questions. I might have not asked enough questions at the beginning of the program, but asking questions is something that I do a lot now, because you want to know the information so you can go for it and know what you want to do, and don't just be stuck in wanting to just do one thing. You can do multiple different things after you get the knowledge. Like there's other things that you can do. Specifically with the MPA program, you can do anything, because you can be in academia, you could be a federal agent, you could be an IG, an inspector general, or you can be an auditor. You could be a professor. So there's so many different things that being in the MPA program allows me to do. I don't feel like I'm stuck in one thing. I came from law enforcement. I was originally in law enforcement, and right now I'm in entertainment for the time being. I mean, so you can do anything. And then even after you leave entertainment, I feel like I can just go back to law enforcement. So there's so many things that the MPA program helped me do, and that's basically it.
That's excellent. Basically you can do whatever you want to do as long as you have the skills and the knowledge that the MPA gives to the students. Director Thompson, I have a question. It's talking about the skills and the knowledge, and follow the area and say you can do anything you want. What our students are doing, the students who have completed the program? Could you give us an example of what our students are doing?
Well, we'll use Adrian as an example, right? But our students are doing a lot of things. We have students now who have graduated from our program who are working in port authority and inspection and investigations. We have professors who have graduated from the program now, right? And they're teaching. We have compliance officers, we have confidential investigators, we have forensic accountants, we have internal auditors. I mean, we have risk auditors, we have information technologists, investigation, we have whistleblowing. So we have a number of specialist skills that we teach, and our students actually go out and apply them. So the possibilities are great, but in terms of what our students are doing, those are some of the things.
They're doing that. That's amazing, because you really depends on what you really want to do. So what would be the best advice that you can give it, Adrian, to our prospective students?
Just take it one step at a time. There's no need to rush anything. You shouldn't allow anybody to rush you or feel that you have to know exactly what you want to do on day one. Like I've met people that go on and do 3 different careers in a lifetime. So, you can always take time, ask questions, and, take your time in deciding what you want to do, and understand that what you do today for the first 10 years of your life, of your professional life, may not be what you're going to do for the next 10 years of your professional life.
That's a good advice, because, we keep changing. We change our careers, as soon you learn something new, you just explain that you change from this to entertainment. But the fact that you are able to modify or change is because you have the skills, and the skills are transferable. Right. And I think that's the most of your skills can transferable. So the same thing, Dr. Thompson, what would be the advice for a prospective student, somebody who is looking at us and saying, I want to do MPA-EO. And few people know the MPA-EO, the inspection oversight, because the people are familiar with MPA, but not the inspection oversight.
Well, we're working to change that. We're working to make sure that people know about MPO inspection and oversight. But I'd say for a new student coming in, a couple of things. One, curiosity, because as Adrian notes, there are several different specializations within MPA-IO, right? There are 6 right now and 2 advanced certificates. So there are a number of things there. So the first couple of classes though, the 700, 701, 706, take those and then you assess the field. So when we have opportunities for webinars, you attend. When we have opportunities, look out for the internships, look out for talking to, talks that we have, look out to talk with your professor about it, and be curious about what it is that we offer. And then that may give you an idea of what you want to do. Sometimes we have students who actually start with the MPA, PPA. And once they learn about MPA IU, they switch over. So we have a lot of students like that. So curiosity is important. Then I'd like to tell them that once you get in here, there are a number of support systems in place because this community is so closely knit, not only in John Jay, but nationally, it's a close-knit community. And there are certain rules that they abide by, you have to be confidential. You can't just get in somewhere. If you know somebody, it's always better to get in there. The skills that we need is the skills that they tell us. We have a close connection with them. So when we teach something, it's because we understand what's going on in the market or in the world out there. So be critical and learn. And then once it gets in, the sky is the limit.
Yep.
There's no holding you
limit,
back
yes.
once we build those skills.
So yeah, there's definitely the sky is a limit for all our students. And we are about to conclude today. We have Professor Denise Thompson and our alumni, distinguished alumnus Adrian Gonzalez, that we're learning all these great things that he's doing. So now we have the last question, Adrian. I would like to hear advice for our students who are about to leave, go to the market, those students who are about to graduate, they're already in the MPA, they're already committed, and now they're about to leave and start working. What you will tell them? Besides you looking for a job in your
take all those skills and all the people that you've met in the program, professors and your colleagues and students, and don't forget those people. Those people are going to be the ones that are really going to help you go forward, and you're going to have to lean on those people when you need help with something, or when you need to find a job, or even if you're in a job and you need to call somebody for some information. Those are the people that you're going to really lean on to help you go forward in your career. So it being a close-knit community, just like Dr. Thomas said, it really is a close-knit community. So when you leave, you're going to really need to lean on those people.
That's with networking. That's what the message of Adrian. Talk with your professors, talk to people who you have a meeting, and talk with your alumni. So now you have somebody outside Adrian. If somebody wants to learn more, I think you can also approach to him and say, advise me. Now I compromise you. You are really a mentor and role model. So that's what it is. We all help each other. We are a family. Graduate Studies is a family. So Dr. Thompson, what would be your advice for students who are about to leave and you are actually working with them probably right now?
Yes, we are working with them. I say keep your ears to the ground, because we do churn out a lot of job postings, right, that we get from the field. And more importantly, I'll leave you with an anecdote I teach the capstone, PhD 771. And I was sitting in my class this last Wednesday, and we were discussing students' projects. It turns out, and they didn't know this, that there are 2 students in the class in our meeting at the same time who were involved in the same agency doing similar work. And I'm hearing them talk, and they're very knowledgeable, by the way, and they know the same people. And right away they connected, they exchanged numbers, and they're moving that way. So staying in touch with your classmates is also important. So we'll say the faculty, fundamental, the industry, AIG, become members of AIG. We do give memberships to students, and stay in touch with your classmates.
Definitely.
So going back to the networking, not only with the professors, with all your classmates, is very important. So thank you very much, Adrian Gonzalez, for being today with us. I really appreciate it. This is our Graduate Power one. We open the spring now with Adrian. And thank you very much, Dr. Thompson, for your comments in the MPA. And this will be until next week. So thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Adrian, nice to meet you.
You as well. It's been my pleasure.
Yes. We'll talk.
All right. We definitely will. We'll connect.
Yes.
All right.